Hello, welcome again to Jackrabbit Journal. Tom Neiman with Hank McCall. And the Jackrabbit football team opens Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium with a 56-28 win over the Drake Bulldogs. And if you want to see a really good football team play in a really cool stadium this year, you should check it out. It's incredible. I've been in, you're in there 10 times and you're still gawking and looking around at things. It's pretty amazing. It really is an impressive facility at this level, really at any level. It was my first opportunity to be in it, in its finished state. And the last time I was there was the spring game where you started to really see the structure of it going up. And now that it is done, I tell you guys, it is a first-class operation. No expenses spared. If you weren't there last weekend, be sure to get there this weekend, if not the weekend after that. Got a few home games left. You got to see it to believe it. Oh, by the way, they got a pretty good football team you can check out while you're there as well. The home opener was a success, and the Jackrabbits jump out on Drake and score on their first 3 possessions of the game. Taryn Christian completes his first 11 passes. He goes 24 for 28 in the game with 4 touchdowns, and 3 of those on short throws to Jake Winicky. Winicky now has 32 touchdown catches, and that ties him for the SDSU career record 2 games in to his junior year. Yeah, not a bad start for the All-American. He's had himself a tremendous last couple of years. Last year, we were curious as to whether or not he could duplicate the numbers that he put up the year before that, but he certainly did that, and he appears to be on pace to do that again this year. So hats off to him and to all the guys who helped him do just that. 5 touchdowns already in 2 games for Jake Winicky, but the Jacks were spreading the love in this game. 9 different guys caught a pass, including 5 grabs for redshirt freshman Adam Anderson. But of course, the catch of the night was the one that made national news. Dallas Goedert's one-handed grab for a touchdown in the 4th quarter.
It's really been unbelievable how many times, with all my friends texting me from back home and the hundreds of Twitter notifications and Facebook notifications I've heard about it quite a bit. I think I've watched the video 100 times at least, so it's pretty crazy. Truthfully, I lined up and I knew I had a good chance to get the ball. I saw a shorter defender on me and I ran my route and I caught the ball, and I don't even really remember catching it. I remember celebrating with my team and everything, and then I walked back to the sideline and looked at the screen to watch the replay because honestly I didn't even really remember it, and I didn't know what it looked like. I just knew the fans went crazy. And the final ends up 56-28. Goddard with another really good game for him. Jacks come away with 3 interceptions in the 3rd quarter of this game. One of them a pick 6 by Jared Bloom, the defensive end. The Jacks block a punt for a touchdown. They also give up a kick return for a touchdown, and we'll talk about that. But senior Kane Lusher gets his first catch ever as a Jackrabbit. Alex Wilde scores his first touchdown as a Jackrabbit. Lots to come in the game highlights. And when we come back, Coach Stegelmeyer takes you through the big plays of the first half in the home opener.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, and Service First Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back. The Jackrabbits beat Drake 56-28 in the home opener. And Hank, what was your expectation for this game? Not just the final score, but how the Jacks should have played against a team that they should have beat. Right. I think everybody for the most part understood that the expectation for this group was to come in and dust these guys, really, because that's just the way it should be. The facts of the matter are right there, scholarship team versus a non-scholarship team. And on the scoreboard, the guys did just that. But in the end, when they were watching this film, they probably were a little disappointed with their effort after the team got up to into that 3-score lead. Yeah. Really, you could kind of see them take the foot off the gas a little bit, maybe get distracted. Your boys, some of your crews up in the stands getting ready to see what's going on later on that night. And, next thing you know, you got yourself a football game. And so they responded well after the half and really got things going, thankfully, to secure the win. And there was everything going on. Stig said this would be a good warm-up for Hobo Day with all of the hoopla surrounding the game. And we met up with the coach at Club 71, the big party room inside the stadium this week.
It's amazing as everything else that's on the field and everywhere else. How did your team handle opening up the new digs?
I thought we handled it really well. They were really excited. We've been practicing in the stadium, but to come out, see the fans, the energy, get to play a game at home, is really fun.
All right, let's get into the first half here. And you came out and played very well for the first quarter, offensively especially. And we'll get into the opening drive here. And take it right down the field. Taryn Christian to Connor Landberg, and he went to a lot of different receivers here in the first quarter.
You know, we've been known to throw to Jake Winicky just about every play, and we started out the game and didn't throw to him. The cool part of that play was the great protection that Taryn had. Our fat guys did a really nice job in this game. There you see it again. Hitting Marquise here. We teach our receivers, you get the ball, give us 5 right away. So we don't want guys dancing. That was a good example of Marquise grabbing the ball, getting upfield.
Mitch Vivoda, the backup tight end here to Dallas Goedert with a nice grab.
Yeah, really was out as a wide receiver, and nice play action, was able to hit him. Good catch for him. He didn't get a lot of opportunities to catch the ball because of Dallas Goedert, so happy to see that.
And then Taryn Christian to Jake Winicky, first of 3 little short touchdown catches for Jake.
Yeah, you know, that's a hard play for that corner. That's a run-pass option. And so, I mean, a big, long guy like Jake's going to win that battle most of the time.
All right, right down the field on the first drive, 7-0 Jackrabbits. And then first Drake possession here, Dallas Brown making a play.
Yeah, our guys came out, you mentioned offense, but really defensively, the first 2 series, I think they had 4 total yards. So we really came to play and took the field and executed.
All right, next drive for the Jacks. This is Kane Lusher, his first ever reception. This was beautiful.
It is neat. You know, those guys, I mean, literally his job is to run into defensive ends and linebackers, so to give him the ball once every 11 games, that's pretty special.
once every 30 games, I think. But he makes the catch there, and then Taryn Christian, 36 yards on the touchdown.
Again, that is power, where he's has to take care of the end guy in the line of scrimmage, and he blitzed, and so he pulled the ball, and great job. For a young quarterback, that is a tremendous job.
All right, 14-0 Jackrabbits after their second drive, and then after a Drake 3-and-out screen here to Winicky, we've got a couple of looks at the blocking.
Yeah, good job at the point of attack. Our center is pushing him in, so great energy from Onasorgi. You know, Dallas Goedert's out there, big man, kind of just pushes the corner down. But again, Jake Winicky is a big, strong guy, and he's going to break some tackles in a game.
Isaac Wallace down there making a block as well. It's 21-0 Jacks late in the first quarter. And then Drake gets going. Eric Sauber is a really good tight end for the very good.
Really good tight end, NFL-type guy. That's disappointing. It's 3rd and long. Don't drop 6 yards. Drop to the sticks and try to make him make the play. Here you can see his ability. He's a really good football player.
That's good experience for Jordan Brown and some of these young corners trying to cover a guy like that.
Without a doubt, because there's going to be good players, a lot of good players in the Missouri Valley.
Jacks up 21-7, and then Brady Mengarelli rips off a long run here after that spin move.
Yeah, really good. Breaks a tackle, spins off it. Here you see our guys downfield. Jake's down there blocking. You know, to be great on the football field, you need 11 guys playing like it's their last play. That was an example.
All right, a couple plays after that. Here's kind of the same play. Taryn Christian and Jake Winicky hooked up on before.
Exactly.
Slant to Jake.
The exact same play. And again, Taryn's got a pre-snap read. He can hand off the power or throw it out there to Jake.
Taryn is putting the ball where it needs to be in the first couple games.
Oh, wow. His completion percentage in this football game was phenomenal. Again, let's give the fat guys some credit because they're doing a good job.
All right, 28-7 Jacks. And then Grant Kramer, the quarterback they really like. He's a senior. He's been injured. He comes in here, puts him on a drive. And what happened in the second quarter? After that first quarter, all the excitement's over. What happened in the second quarter?
Well, you know, you got to give them some credit. They're a good football team, but as human beings, you probably fall off a little bit with your focus and stuff. They had us in that play. They ran that play a number of times in the game and got decent yards till we made an adjustment at halftime. This is just a mistake, all right? When you lob, when you hear short or red, the front line is supposed to go block so we can catch the ball, and we got a young guy out there that goes back and causes a fumble. Luckily, we were able to recover the fumble.
And you guys do that a lot to other teams with San Coob, who's very good at it, kicking it short like that, and you practice on the receiving end as well.
We practice everything, but you have to have that mastered as a football player, and which means what? It means when you go out there and things happen, you have to react instantly. You can't be thinking.
All right, decent first half. It was good for a quarter. What were your thoughts at halftime?
Well, it was tremendous for a quarter, and I should have told our players that, but I was a little upset, unhappy with how we finished. You know, the lob kick. We even said that they should lob it here, and our guys didn't respond. And so I just challenged them, and our guys came out and played a really good second half.
Well, there were some crazy plays in the third quarter of this game by the Jackrabbit defense. A pick 6 by a defensive lineman, and the catch by Dallas Goedert coming up next. Welcome back. The Jackrabbits lead Drake 28-14 at halftime, and it was a great start for SDSU, but did not exactly dominate the first half, maybe the way they could have, should have.
No, I would say, yeah, that's a correct assessment. They got started off really where they left off the week before, offensively, executing effectively, putting points on the board, executing in the red zone. Defensively, he came out with an edge and really got after the Bulldogs early. They didn't have a first down through the first 3 or 4 drives, but from there it kind of fizzled, and you saw some of those guys perhaps lose a little bit of that edge late in the first half, but that's why you have a halftime. You can talk through some of those things.
All right, Stig has some of the same sentiments. Back to the coach for the second half.
All right, Coach, you're ahead 28-14 at halftime, and credit to Drake, but you knew we were in a football game at halftime here, right?
We did, and you know, you can go out and dominate, play up to your potential, potentially dominate, I should say, or you let a team back by not playing up to your potential. Again, I'm not knocking Drake, but we've got to go play every play like it's our last. You create that mentality now. That applies to Northern Iowa late in November, and we've got some work to do.
All right. Second half, though, as you said, there's some goofy plays here in the second half, but this is the second play of the half and an interception by Jesse Bobbitt.
Yeah, he saw the screen. Our coaches do a great job of preparing our guys. See the penalty there for the face mask. But, you know, Jesse is he's a coach on the field. And, unfortunately, it didn't result in any points. We give Chase Vinatieri a chance to kick here, and he's got the leg. He just pulls it a little left.
Yeah, that's from 48 yards. Nice to know he can get it there from 50 or so. So no points there, but after some punts either way, this is Jared Bloom, the defensive end, with a pick six from about 3 yards out.
Probably the biggest play in the football game in the sense that I think it really energized us, the whole team, and it was a big play in the football game. It results in points right away. Fun to see him get that.
All right, 35-14, Jack's up at this point, and then next drive, Dallas Brown gets a hand on it. Who is Austin Semenda?
He's a redshirt freshman that was on the team or was around last year and just has really had a great fall camp. He's number 2 at defensive end, so he's doing a great job.
Has played well in a couple of games, and then what'd you think of this?
The catch of the day, the catch of the year probably. I loved it. You know, I'd prefer to use 2 hands, but it got us on the map a little bit. Got him surely on the map, and just really shows his athletic ability, because that is a phenomenal athletic play.
He could have pulled it in and used 2 hands, but he does that a lot. He just uses the one hand. So he makes a play there, and then here's Cody Hazlett blocking a punt. Jake Harms jumps on it for a touchdown.
Big play. Again, our coaches prepared our guys. We thought this could happen. We didn't. We tipped the ball earlier just by making them kick the ball, and so a big play in the game also.
So open up a 49-14 lead, and then this is the ensuing kickoff, however. And this
not deep enough on the kickoff, relaxing, just doing your job. You know, somebody's going to make the tackle. Well, nobody was the guy that made the tackle, and credit to those guys. They didn't quit playing, and they get a big play in the football game. That's disappointing because, again, go out and do your job. Some of those guys only get to run down and kickoff. Go do your job.
All right, it's 49-21 at this point. Zach Lujan comes in and is sharp as ever, and he goes to Alex Wilde for his first touchdown as a collegiate.
Yeah, neat play, neat way to end it. You know, what do you do when you're ahead that far? Well, these guys don't get to play that much. Alex is just loves to play the game of football. He's worked so hard. Lujan started for us, so it's a neat way to end the football game.
Got a lot of guys involved. You win by 28, but was it unsatisfying in some ways? What can you do better?
Well, we can focus better. As coaches, we can focus better. You know, we can stay sharp. We can relay that to our players. But the best thing for me was after the game, we take a knee, we say a short prayer, and then we talk a little bit, and I said, can we play better? Can we play better, men? And they all shook their head. And they know that, and that's the start of the whole thing.
Perfection's always the goal, right?
It is, but it's impossible to get to, but keep striving.
Well, up next, more with Dallas Goedert, the rapid fire interview, and who or what is he named after, and did you know that he has other actual circus skills besides making one-handed catches? Welcome back. Hank, we have seen a lot out of Dallas Goedert in the last couple of years. The talk this week, of course, was the one-handed touchdown grab, and we've seen him make plays, maybe not like that, but almost that good, and he's got a lot of skills, doesn't he? Does Dallas Goedert have NFL possibilities in another year or so?
Well, I certainly think he does. I think he'll get an opportunity. He certainly has the measurables, but what he's shown over the last 2 years, last year really breaking out as a playmaker for this unit. I don't think the coaches were really 100% sure as to what they had in Dallas Goedert coming out of Britain, South Dakota, the way he did, but he sure has developed into an elite offensive weapon that these guys can rely on week in and week out.
Yeah, he said that when he came out of high school, he had no idea about schemes and how to line up and do the things they're asking him to do right now. But he is 6'5", 250 pounds. He can catch. He learned how to block a couple of years ago when Zach Zunder was running crazy, and he kind of turned into a really good pass catcher in the last year or so. Right?
Absolutely. No, it's been fun to watch, really, and we saw. We've seen. I think he did a little bit as far as the blocking part of things, and really just getting a better understanding of the run scheme when Zach was still here early in his career. But then last year we saw some of the catches he was making and moving downfield the way that he was. We hadn't seen that, and now that we know he can do it, they're going to keep going to him, and it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, Goedert is just a junior. He's from Britain, South Dakota. He makes one-handed catches, and he can ride a one-wheeled bicycle as well. Here is the rapid-fire interview with David Brown.
All right, so the first question. Until the TCU game, have you, Dallas Goedert, ever been to Dallas, Texas?
I have. I went to spring break this summer and we drove through and spent the night in Dallas, so that wasn't my first time.
What do you think to be in the town named after you, or you named after the town, rather?
It was really cool. My family took a big part in it too. They wore, there's a new Dallas in Texas shirt, so it was cool.
Did you ever find out why you were named Dallas?
Yeah, my dad's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, so I was named after the Cowboys.
You really were named after Dallas?
I was.
Very cool. What is your favorite part or place of Britain, South Dakota?
Man, that's tough. I suppose probably their gym. The high school gym is awesome. It's an awesome place to be, hang out. A lot of games played there, so that's the place.
It's sort of your relaxation place. You know you can go there and always have a good time.
Yep.
Do you have a pregame ritual or a superstition, something you have to do before every football game?
I guess probably my biggest superstition would be taking 5-hour energies with Kane Lauscher. So I was taking those before the game to get energized. So
specific flavor, or doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all.
Just got to get up for the game?
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite Coach Stig catchphrase?
It's got to be, I got two of them. It's either holy nutmeg or super.
Which one's your favorite?
I probably like super a little better. He says it all the time.
Does he describe that to you as super?
I don't know if I've got that yet, but hopefully someday.
What is either your best or worst nickname?
My worst nickname would probably be Dally Bear. That's what a few people call me, and it's kind of a girly nickname, but then I guess the only other nickname I really have is Dally Wags, and me and Dallas Brown call each other that, so.
You prefer Dally Wags?
Prefer Dally Wags.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
I guess it'd probably be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. That's what I do.
You know all the words of the Fresh Prince theme song?
I guess when it's going, I feel like I do. I don't know if I could sing it right here, though.
When is the last time you cried at a movie?
Ooh. That is a good question. I have no idea, truthfully.
Have you ever cried at a movie?
I'm gonna say probably like Lion King when I was a kid.
It's good enough, that's good. Do you have a hidden talent?
I can ride the unicycle.
Really? You're a unicycle rider?
I'm a unicyclist, so.
How does one become a unicycle rider?
Kind of a long story, but my grandpa bought a unicycle when my mom was in high school, and her 5 sisters all learned how to ride the unicycle along with my grandpa, and they did parades all throughout, and me and my cousins can now ride the unicycle, and we go in small parades around South Dakota and North Dakota.
Did you ever think about being in the circus?
A little bit. I thought it'd be kind of fun, but no, I haven't pushed it too much.
All right, last one. Who's the better Dallas football player, you or Dallas Brown?
You got to give it to Dallas Brown.
You're humble. You're not going to say yourself?
No. He got sacks the other day. He's got, what does he have? 3 interceptions, and 2 of them are pick sixes, so he's doing well.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Our thanks to Dallas for playing along this week. Coming up this Saturday, Goddard and the Jackrabbits take on a team that is always one of the national leaders in running the football. A little preview of Cal Poly when we come back.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, and Service First Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back. The Jackrabbit football team will host Cal Poly on Saturday at 6 o'clock. We will have it live on Midco Sports Network 2, and that is High Def Channel 624 in most areas of North and South Dakota. Cal Poly, remember playing these guys?
Vividly, absolutely. We started playing these guys from day one at the Division I level, 2004. First year at that level, we worked with Cal Poly along with Cal Davis and some other teams to form the Great West Football Conference. So there's a whole lot of familiarity between SDSU and Cal Poly. Jackrabbits will be very confident in their game plan going into this one based on the history playing these guys. You know what you're going to get when Cal Poly comes to town.
Did you win either one of those games when you played in 04-05?
No, we did not.
All right, Cal Poly this season has lost in overtime at Nevada, and then they beat San Diego out of the Pioneer Football League last week. In those games, Cal Poly has thrown the ball 21 times. They have run it 131 times in those two games. They are second in the FCS right now, averaging 368 rushing yards per game.
They've been real high in rushing stats. I mean, that's their deal. They're an option offense. They can throw the ball. Most of their throws are play action where nobody's even around the receiver because you get caught up in defending the run. They're a really good football team, and we're going to have to work really hard to slow down their option and then attack their defense.
Well, Cal Poly's leading receiver has 3 catches in the first 2 games. The whole team has 10 completed passes in the 2 games, but their ground game can be a killer, can it?
It certainly can. They're going to run the football, option style. What does that require? It requires the defense to play very disciplined football. They're going to run the football 3 yards here, 4 yards there. Next thing you know, option pass, 80 yards over your head. That's what they're looking to do.
All right, the Jacks beat Cal Poly a couple of years ago, 44-18. Jacks outrushed them in that game. We will see what happens on Saturday. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching Jackrabbit Journal.